12 minutes, 42 seconds left to go. I told you, Steve, it'd fly by.
Well, you're not kidding, Dennis.
Unbelievable how fast it goes by. It is very steamy out there. Still being listed as 90 in the city. We know that it's 98 in Needham. It's 99 next door in Framingham. Every place you look, it is 90-something out there. It is a day to stay in and not do anything and conserve your energy, but that flies in the face of what we've been talking about, Steve. We want people to get up and get out and do some stuff, and I want to get to the diabetes in 1 second, but let's talk Turkey. I'm ready to come. I'm coming in there. What type of programs are out there for me, and how much is this going to cost me?
Well, the programs, Dennis, I know people don't want to necessarily hear this, but they're all individualized because, I mean, I might have a 30-year-old come in here that that had a baby and that needs to lose that baby weight and hasn't exercised, and I might have somebody that's 65 years old that needs to put on some lean muscle because they're having bone density problems. I might have somebody else that's
like
obese.
My wife who comes 5 days a week and you want to get rid of her. She's here again.
Does she do strength training or does she just run?
All of the above. All of the above. My wife does have a personal trainer.
There you go.
Yep.
So,
and she goes, and that period, I have a training appointment, and that's just the way she is. Now, that's a very difficult thing for most people to do. But let's not jump off task here. What's it going to cost the average person that wants to come in and see you?
Well, first, and again, it really depends on the individual.
Sure.
And it depends on what their needs are. If I've got somebody that has to lose a lot of weight, they may be with the program for a year or longer. So for somebody to spend thousands of dollars on a program like this is not unusual. But the bottom line is, if they get results and they get healthy, what are the cost savings on the other end?
Correct.
And we can go on and on about
that
this.
Math equation is pretty simple to me, Steve.
I mean, if you're on medication, let's say, and I don't know, you have different types of listeners, but if you're getting anywhere close to retirement and you're starting to worry about paying your own insurance premiums, which is something we talked about, if you still have to pay for those meds and they're not covered, I mean, one medicine like Lipitor could cost $180, $200 a month.
Ask your doctor about. No, I'm not going to. I don't want to take any more pills. I don't want any of your hijinks. Stay out of my business. That's just one man yelling at the TV.
So, right. So, and it's kind of like, would I be willing to spend enough money to get myself healthy so I can do the things that make me happy, feel better, live longer, get off some of the meds here, which is going to save me money in the long run, lower my premiums. I could be at a high-risk group. I might be looking for life insurance. It could be any number of things.
Right.
So I'm not giving you a specific answer because it is individualized,
right?
Really. But I will say this. We are doing two things, and this is how we can save people money. First of all, if anyone out there is a type 2 diabetic, 30 years old or older, 30 pounds or more overweight, we collectively are doing a type 2 diabetes study. And that means that you should go to ftgetsresults.com. These are participating studios. We are taking a minimum of one person per studio, and this just started up a few weeks ago. And if you come to the program and participate in a 6-month program or study, we will subsidize up to 50% the cost of that program.
That's called half off, folks. Free for 50% of the ordeal. All you have to do is join the program.
Right. So you have to obviously, a little bit more than that. You have to do the work.
You
have to qualify.
Oh, you have to show up.
You got to do strength training 3 times a week. We're going to be doing cardio 3 times a week. You're going to be documenting what you eat, and we're going to be doing some things like checking your blood sugar. So it takes a commitment. Now, what if you're not one of those people that's in that category, or let's say those positions get filled? Then I am putting out...
I'm a bum, Steve. I like to catch a lift. I need 45 minutes to an hour in the gym, and I really only get there once. I need to get there 3 times a week. How are you going to help me?
All right. Well, how am I going to help you? Dennis, there's no helping you. I'm sorry.
You give people layups. You pass them the ball. They're alone under the basket.
No, I want to extend it to a broader audience here. If you're a business owner and you're listening to this, or you know somebody that is, we are doing things like lunch and learns. We're going into companies and saying,
"That's a great idea."
Right? We're going to give free information to people. It's going to be a fun, interactive half-an-hour lunch and learn. We're going to talk a little bit about diabetes and what you need to look out for. But I am offering the opportunity, and I say this to the employers out there. I'm willing to put my money where my mouth is if you're willing to do the same. If we know, I've got a concept that I have a vision. I'd love to see it adopted. You've heard of tuition reimbursement. Big companies do it. Right? You have a great employee, they go to get a master's degree, they get reimbursed. Why? Because the more intelligent that person is, the more knowledge,
it
experience.
benefits everybody.
It's going to go to their bottom line. Why not a health reimbursement? I've got somebody that's overweight. They need to lose 30, 40, 50 pounds. They start off with a program with us. We do an initial fitness assessment. We computerized programs document their results. I can give you a printout at the end of every 6 weeks. You can have verifiable information. This person has lost weight, lowered blood sugar, gotten healthier. Wouldn't it be worth giving them something back towards that?
Yes.
And if an employer out there is willing to put up $500, I'll put up $500. That's $1,000 off a program for somebody who wants to be part of a Fitness Together training program. So we do that because I don't have to spend all my money in advertising, because an employer is showing that they care, and we're willing to do it as a cooperative initiative to get more people on the bandwagon of getting healthy.
And especially in this day and age with the cutbacks and the recession, and now with people flinching like crazy, they're not sure if they're going to have a job. It makes for very, very poor morale around the office, and this is a way to boost that as well, isn't it?
Well, absolutely. It shows that you care about those employees. And I'll tell you what, it's not a lot of money. And now here's a statistic for you: 50% of the companies out there, and we'll talk about the mid to large companies, and they don't have to be huge companies, self-insure. That means that they and the employees can pay less premiums by setting a pool of money aside to pay for those things that insurance doesn't cover. The largest group of people that are sucking up some of those dollars are people that have the heart conditions, high blood pressure, diabetes. And diabetes, for those of you who don't really understand just what a problem this is, we know that heart disease is the number one killer. 75% of the people that had heart attacks had diabetes first. 30 to 40% of the people that have diabetes today could have cancer down the road. We're talking about a major contributor to health problems. So why wouldn't we spend a little bit of money to get a huge return on the back end? People have to think about that. It's about preventative medicine, not giving them pills and meds the rest of their lives and putting a Band-Aid on the problem.
And that's really what it comes down to. That's what we're talking about here today, is the old ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure, because you're going to have to continue to try to retrofit, and it's not working. We need to do something up front to try to stop that retrofitting process.
I like this guy. I'd like to be on the show for another couple hours. I want to tell you, and I think a lot of other people share in this belief. But I want to say this: we're all angry. Off air, Dennis and I talk about, well, this happened to me with insurance and that. We've all experienced these things, and we can get mad at insurance companies. We get mad at the healthcare system for inefficiencies, bloated costs. Call it what you want. But I say this: what are we as individuals doing to take care of ourselves? And if we're contributing to the problem, then we can't blame everybody else 100%. We need to be a part of the solution. And I propose that we can help people, and I realize a lot of people are afraid to do it on their own, and that's why we're here to help them.
We've got just about 4 minutes left, so you want to talk about the diabetes ordeal again so we can make sure that we get that across to everyone and let them know that they can come join you for this as well?
I appreciate that. This is really our passion as Fitness Together as a group. 42 studios are participating in a campaign, to raise money and awareness through a program that we call Cardio for a Cure. Anybody who's a client, if you're not a client, you can come into any one of our studios and say, you know what, I'm going to put my name on the board because so-and-so that I know had this disease. So-and-so I know may have had amputations. So they may have died from this disease. I haven't gotten into all the complications. You want to show your support for it. You want to do something healthy for yourself. Join our walking club. Do some cardio. Do anything and have people support your initiative. You'll be motivating for yourself, and you'll raise money for a good cause so we can hopefully find a cure for type 1 diabetes and raise an awareness for people that we can help them. That's number one. Number two is we're running this study. This is happening this month. I'll tell you right now because we're on TV. We're promoting it through several websites. These spots will fill up fast. Go to ftgetsresults.com. Call a local studio. Say, look, this is my problem. This is why I think you can help me. Please, can we have an interview and see if I'm appropriate for being a subsidized participant in your type 2 diabetes study. That's the second thing.
And it's we want to be key. We want to be right on point here because it's a study. The results are going to be key.
Well, and this is important because, by the way, you'll all be in numbers, so you don't have to worry about that. But I will say, as part of the subsidy, when you have success, we're going to be looking for client testimonials, and we have people on video on our websites because I think that people are afraid, and they need to see normal, everyday people saying, "This was me before. This is me today. I feel better. I look better. I'm happier. I've reduced my meds. I can play with my grandkids. I can have kids. Whatever it happens to be, just live normal lives." That's what we're about.
And that's live a normal life. Well, what is normal anymore? Being able to walk across the parking lot would be a good start. And that, unfortunately, is a difficult task for many people.
It is. I'll just say this. My dad played tennis into his 70s. When my mom got sick, he stopped playing tennis because he was by her side. I've never seen anyone go downhill so fast because he stopped exercising. You need to exercise your mind by listening to your programs, and also in keeping your investments going. But you got to do it physically with your body. If you keep those two things going, I think we can live long, healthy lives, and that's really the message. We're
now down to a minute and a half, so let's get all that contact information out there for all the folks.
Well, again, my name is Steve Lichman. I'm representing Fitness Together, the owners in Massachusetts and Rhode Island that are participating in our type 2 diabetes study.
42 of them now, kids. There are 42 of these that are having this. They're ongoing with this study right now.
That's right. Go to FT Gets Results. That's ftgetsresults.com. Or call me if you want. I'll give you my cell phone number, 781-572-1002. We can help you. I'll refer you to somebody I know. I'm friends with all the owners.
Cardio for a Cure, and also the type 2 diabetes study, just to be clear on that one. Men and women over the age of 30 who are 30 or more pounds overweight and have been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes under doctor's care and cleared to exercise, then you can really help them out here, and we can make them part of the study, and hopefully everybody's going to get up and go on a walkabout today, huh?
That's great, but don't walk in this heat because it'll kill you.
Wait till 7 o'clock. We'll wait till 7 o'clock, but it is pretty bad out
it's
there,
hot,
that's
yeah.
for sure. HOT, hot, as always. AJ, thank you so very kindly for joining us.
Thank you, DV.
You got a good job back there running those dials.
I do have a very good job. I don't complain.
Steve, thank you so very kindly for joining us as well.
Dennis, it was my pleasure. I really appreciate the opportunity.
And once again, that is, what is the website again?
F as in Frank, T as in Tom, www.ftgetsresults.com. You'll know what we do, and you'll see a testimonial right on the homepage, a video of one of our clients.
I told you the hour would go by fast, Steve, didn't I?